doubleheader here on the ISC network on campus of Marian University. This is Taylor Trojans battling it out against the Marian Knights. Kelsey Casper and Jim Leisure along with you, and it was the Knights who took game one with a score of 4-2. It was a competitive outing for both teams. Honestly, not too much offense, pretty sporadic, but what were your thoughts on game one, Jim, heading into this game two of the doubleheader?
Well, Olivia Stunkel, I think, was the difference in her ability to just give up the 2 runs, but Katie Katlowski, pop fly up to the shortstop there, but Katie Katlowski for Taylor came in and settled down the Knights bats and made it a competitive ball game. And you know, here we are, you know, basically the same group. The only real differences are the pitchers and I think Marian's catcher. And other than that, it's the same lineup. So we're going to see if they can duplicate that. I thought it was a well-played game. I mean, it was a well-played competitive softball game.
Well, Macy Cohen is in the circle for Marian here in game two. Caroline Root behind the plate. We already saw Grace Mullins fly out to the shortstop. But here's Madison Stanridge batting second for Taylor. The Knights snapping the Trojans' 4-game winning streak. All of Taylor's offense came in the 4th inning. And it was thanks to a 2-run homer from Delaney McCreary. Other than that, that was the only blemish on Olivia Stunkel's day. She pitched a complete game, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, with 5 strikeouts.
Macy Cohen working fast and working those corners.
The sophomore has been the game 2 starter for the Knights all season as well as her freshman year.
Tried the off-speed pitch there and just left it a little bit low, bounced it in.
Coming in this game with 90 1/3 pitches. On the inside, she'll fill her own position for round number 2.
Well, in the first game, the Trojans went down 1-2-3. Macy Cohen on her way to a similar fashion here. We'll see whether or not she could get Livy Lehman.
Olivia Stunkel in this defense had 3 up, 3 down innings. Livy Lehman was 0 for 3 in the first game. Flew out twice, grounded to the shortstop. It was a very active day for the freshman Allie Malone at shortstop. Had 10 putouts. Lehman ropes this one foul. Marian was able to bounce back and earn their 26th conference win of the season. They went 1-1 against Indiana Wesleyan back on Friday. Dropped game 2. As Cohen delivers the strike, 1-2. Off-speed coming up a little short. Cohen a different look than Olivia Stunkel. So the adjustments that this team needs to make. A one-hopper into right field. The offense gets started early for Taylor. Their first hit of the day. Line drive from Lehman with 2 outs.
Nice job again, just taking the outside pitch the other way, just hitting it hard and getting it to drop in front of the right fielder, Jenna Minix there. So a little bit of a start here for the Trojans.
Well, 2 out and 1 out for Kaylee Larkin. Cohen on the outside, gets strike 1. The top of the lineup struggled for the Trojans. First 4 batters did not have a hit in the lineup. A collective 0 for 12 in game 1. Larkin, the junior from Brownsburg, Indiana. Sits at a 1-2 count. Off the end of the bat, slow roller. And Knox has got it at second. It's a productive inning for Cohen. And Marian look to grab their bats in the bottom half of the inning.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Couple switches offensively for this Marian lineup. As you see, Brooke Knox has moved into the 2 spot. She did bat 9th in game 1, so her and Anna Pritchett just flip-flopped a little bit. As well as we saw Caroline Roop behind the plate. She will be catching and hitting in this game. And Grace Meyer, who was a catcher in game 1, now moves to the DP spot. As that rounds out the starting lineup for the Marian Knights, and they will be going against Mackenzie Noah in the circle. The senior from Allen Park, Michigan, making her 23rd start of the season. That leads the team. Has 11 wins underneath her belt and a 5.47 ERA. Back in game 1, it was Claire Cullen who got the start, the freshman, but only lasted a 3rd inning. Didn't give up a hit, but gave up 3 walks. But it was the pitcher, Katie Kulowski, who had a fantastic outing in relief for Taylor. She came in and held the Knights scoreless through 5 innings. We'll see if Noah can build off the performance of Kulowski here and keep this Marian lineup silent. Here's Abby Hoffman. She takes first pitch strike.
And just to be safe, Coach Gower has Kulowski warming up again down there. Not really warming up, just kind of getting loose.
Abby Hoffman led off the first game with a walk and came around to score. Marian put up 4 runs in the first inning. Hoffman lifts one in a dead center field, going back on it. Look at the catch on the run is Agri for round number 1.
Well, you talked about, Kelsey, how Agri was a 3-time All-State player in Iowa, and she fielded that like she'd done it before.
So here's Brooke Knox. Moving up and batting in the 2 spot. Knox, one of the 6 seniors who were honored this past Friday, celebrating Senior Day. A talented senior class with a ton of experience. A lot of games underneath their belt as they graduate a big class this season. Knox still in search of her first hit of the day. Went 0 for 3 in game 1. Fouls one to the right side. Not a play. Same exact outcome. Fouls at the right side. Marian now sitting a half game behind Indiana Wesleyan in the conference standings. As that is 3 straight balls fouled out of play to the right side. Taylor dugout active trying to get all those. There's Brooke Sanchez.
Well, she's just
doing her
basically,
part.
yeah, standing in the same spot and fielding them all. So
Lengthy at bat here for Knox, and it's Noah who's going to win the battle and get the strikeout. 2 down.
Kenzie Noah came into the ball game with 47 Ks. That'll be her 48th on the season.
So here's Lily Went with 2 outs. Big bat has been silent so far today. But Lily Went leads this team coming into this doubleheader, hitting .457 on the season. That's 4th best in the entire conference. All these Marian hitters fouling it off to the right side. I don't know if they're just getting jammed or letting the ball get deep.
It could be a little bit of a velocity thing where they're just not expecting it to come up there quite as fast as it is.
And a liner right to second. Lehman's got a glove in it. And the Knights go down 1-2-3 in order. We're still scoreless after one here in Game 2 on the ISC Sports Network.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
Here's a look at the Taylor starting lineup for Game 2. Not much has changed. Besides our starting pitcher, Mackenzie Noah. We already saw the first 4 batters in the first inning, so Delaney Barton will lead things off, followed by McCreary, Duncan, Browning, and Agri. To round out the starting 9 for Taylor. Looking to get their offense started. Only able to plate 2 runs. Game number 1. And it was this part of the lineup that got the job done. Delaney Barton had a productive day at the plate. Going 2 for 3 with 2 singles, scored in the 4th. She's got a 2-0 count. Delaney Barton, the junior from New Pal. Chopper, Cohen with the glove. It's the first out of the inning.
We've already seen some pretty good defensive plays already. Some comebackers here. Nice job with the backhand and regaining a balance and obviously making it not even close. But we had the line drive to end the inning in the last bottom of the first and already slapping some leather around.
She certainly saved a single on that play. So she didn't go out and grab that. That would have been a tough play for Malone to make it short. An 0-1 count to McCreary. She had the 2-run blast back in Game 1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Started 54 games for the Trojans in her sophomore season. Led the team in sacrifice flies, second in steals. You see Green calling off at third base. Makes a catch for out number 2.
And I will tell you, Kelsey, when I coached, I always wanted my third baseman to come down and get that. Obviously, the catcher could get out there with all that gear on and the mask, and I don't want that at all. The pitcher could come off the circle and sprint over, but again, the pitcher's working hard. I'd rather not her sprint over there. That's the third baseman's ball. Haley Green took it all the way.
Well, 2 down for Clara Duncan. Looks at a first pitch strike. Have not been able to see her bat shine so far today. As Cohen works ahead, 0-2. Good eye, lays off one. Cohen working ahead. gets the strikeout. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Macy Cohen gets the strikeout to end the top of the second.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.75% APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Fans enjoying the beautiful weather here in Indianapolis. We started the game number 1 at 71 degrees, now 72. Sun's out, beautiful day for some softball. As the regular season is winding down, conference tournament starting up next week. It's the Trojans will host the conference tournament. That'll start on Wednesday. Marian and Indiana Wesleyan battling for that top spot. The Knights hoping to be crowned back-to-back regular season champs. They got to get their bats warmed up here in game number 2. Mackenzie Cohen took care of business in the bottom half of inning number 1, setting down the Knights in order. So 4-5-6 due up. Here's Grace Meyer. Meyer now in the DP spot after catching game 1.
Noah with a nice location strike there. Again, catcher sets up the glove right on the corner. Pitch hits it. Glove doesn't move. Strike call.
Grace walked and scored back the first inning. Also had a single. Now she works a 3-1 count.
Probably going to get a decent pitch to hit here, so let's see if she can stay back on it and get those hips open and drive it.
Lays off one low. That's a leadoff walk. First base runner aboard here in game number 2 for Marian.
Now batting for the Knights, number 25, Jenna Minix.
Walks did come back to haunt the Trojan pitching in game 1.
And the Trojans had 3 walks back in the first inning. Walked 3 of the first 4 batters of the game. All 3 came around to score. That one smoked over the head of the center fielder, Agri. Jenna Minix rounding second. They're waving Meyer home, and she scores. Marian's on the board thanks to the RBI double for Jenna Minix.
Well, and she's able to score for 2 reasons. One, she's got the play in front of her. She sees the center fielder is basically beat, and right there she's full speed. Now watch as the center fielder bobbles the ball just a little bit, and that's the difference. That's the difference between safe and out right there.
One of the first hard hit balls we've seen from Marian today. As Grace Meyer scores all the way from first on that play. Well, still a runner in scoring position for Haley Green. Pops it back and out of play. Haley Green, the third baseman, hitting .255 in the season. Had a slow start, but working her way back in. Batting in the 6th spot in this Marian lineup. As a team, they're hitting .371.
Nobody out now. You got to, again, at the runner at second base, you got to be wary of the line drive. Don't get doubled up. When you have an opportunity for a big inning, the last thing you want to do is run yourself out of it.
Nobody out, full count. Lined off the glove of Browning. Just couldn't get high enough to snag that one. And the inning continues, the rally continues. The Knights.
And Jenna Minix does exactly what I said. Just don't go on this thing. If she comes down with it, then again, you're right on the bag, and she was. Now, once the ball's through, you can get to third base, no problem there.
And she does. So runners at the corners for Malone. Who tips one off.
So Coach Fleming puts a runner in motion here. They tried it earlier in the first game. It did not work.
That was Malone who actually got picked off at first.
Yeah, I think they were trying the old kind of double steal, get caught up in a rundown and get the plate or the run across the plate.
Malone over to second for out number 1. Runners stay put. First and second still one out for Caroline Root.
Good look at Livy Lehman there, who hustles over, hauls the ball off the first baseman again. So good communication can avoid those collisions that end up with balls that drop for hits and people get hurt.
Taken off the throwdown. Nobody standing at second. A run's gonna score. And the delayed steal works for Marian here in game 2.
Well, that's what they wanted to do in game 1. Obviously, you could hear Coach Fleming there on our field mic yelling, go, 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 go. He could see that they basically were not paying any attention to the third base runner, so they were going to steal the run. And then bonus, somebody forgot to cover second base. You saw the center fielder, Emery Agri, come in and try, but couldn't get there in time.
So Minnick scores from third. Haley Green's now standing at second. It's a 2-0 count to Caroline Root. Caroline on the season, making her 21st start, batting .283.
3-0 count on the 8-0. I would be stunned if Coach Fleming turns her loose.
Noah gets the strike. 3-1. Right back into it, full count.
All right, now you got to protect as a hitter. Anything close, you want to probably choke up, move up a little bit closer to the plate, and just try to shorten the thing up, swat something in play.
That one's going to roll foul. One out, full count. Takes it the opposite way. That's going to drop in for a single. Green's going to hold up at third.
Well, they all look like line drives in the scorebook, Kelsey. This one was just off the fist, off the hands, and just loops into right field, right in front of the right fielder. Unable to make a play here. But again, knocks in a run, does its job.
Well, here's Anna Pritchett. Now in the 9 spot. That one nearly rolls into left field. So Caroline Root took second instead of throwing down. Barton behind the plate. Threw back to Green at third. Now 2 in scoring position for Anna Pritchett, 1 out. Getting her sign from her head coach, Scott Fleming, over at third. Fouled it back, 0-2.
Well, that could take the bunt off, obviously. If a batter tries to bunt and 2 strikes and bunts it foul, it goes as a strikeout. We'll see. A lot of coaches leave it on with the 9-hitter.
Holds back 1-2. Pritchett hitting .353.
Left fielder playing almost third base.
Outfield way in. That one's foul.
Pritchett is that slap type hitter who, if she hits it, she's probably not going to drive it over your head. So you got all the outfielders playing shallow, but left fielder especially.
It looks like they're going to call Pritchett out.
You know, she might have been out of the box or stepped on the plate, one or the other. That's the one thing about those hitters that run up toward the pitcher. If they get a foot out of the box and they make contact with the ball, then it's an automatic out. That goes as a strikeout.
So 2 down. Back to Abby Hoffman.
I did not hear a call, but I'm going to assume that's what it was, just because of the type of hitter that she is, the style of hitting.
Hoffman up in the air. Calling off is Browning. Marian strands 2 but scores 2 in the bottom of the second inning. They lead as he headed the third on the ISC network.
We jumped in immediately. We take an intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away, because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
Casey Cohen back in the circle. She's retired 6 of the first 7 Trojans she has seen here in game number 2. So 8-9-1 due up for Taylor. As again, they trail in this game. They trailed by 4 after the first inning in game number 1. Got themselves back into it within 2, but couldn't finish. We'll see if their offense has some juice left. Marian has won 3 of the 4 games against Taylor so far, looking for the clean sweep over the Trojans this season. Here's Bella Browning in her first plate appearance of game number 2. Looks at a first pitch strike. Browning went 0 for 3 in game number 1. Had a strikeout and grounded out to short twice. Looks at another 0-2.
Cohen working fast, and again, just concentrating on that outside corner.
Three pitches and a strikeout for Cohen. Start this third inning.
Most pitchers will tell you it's a lot more fun when you're way ahead in the count. Pitching's fun. You have your whole arsenal at your disposal there with an 0-2 count.
Here's Emery Agri in the 9th spot for the Trojans. That was back-to-back strikeouts for Cohen. She ended the second inning with a strikeout, started the third with one. In Cohen's identity, she's not the biggest strikeout pitcher. Only has 46 in her 90 innings pitched. On the ground, but foul. The defense stayed put for Marian besides Roop behind the plate. So Green's at third, Malone at short, Knox at second, went at first, and then Hoffman, Pritchett, and Minix from left to right in the outfield.
I left the change up low there, bounced it in.
Agri had a double back in the 5th inning. Foul to the left side. Bakery's on it. 2-2.
Well, if there was ever any question of whether or not this backstop was properly constructed, that proves that it is. The ball just crashed off the thing.
Off-speed line to the right side.
Agree making this at bat count. This will be the 8th pitch.
Still a 2-2 count. Hoffman going back on it, got the catch. 2 down.
Nice job by Abby Hoffman there in left field, playing a little bit shallow again with the left-handed hitter up. 9-hole slap hit or type hitter, but you got to be careful. Can't let him drive it over your head. You see her do a nice job of just drop stepping, getting back to where the ball's going to land and loving it up.
Only one hit for this Taylor offense, one time through the order. It was Libby Lehman back in the first inning. But since then, Cohen has retired 6 straight hitters. This is Mullins who turns on one. But found on the right field line.
Sounded good off the bat, didn't it?
Yep. Mullins looking to get something going at the plate. Is hitless so far today, but batting .362 on the year. And the one blemish so far for Cohen is not been able to control that off speed.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The one thing that she has not done is she's still looking for the grip there, still looking for the touch because it's not there. The personal protector down the right field line for Taylor is earning her pay.
Two count. Smoked foul.
That is Meg Stanley down there, number 27, who was unable to field that one, but other than that, has had several chances down there protecting the pitcher and the catcher, who, by the way, are just standing down there talking. They're not really doing anything. You'd almost say, look, why don't you go sit down if you're not going to pitch?
There's the off speed, able to get it over the plate. But again, Mullins fouls another pitch off.
Grace did strike out twice in the first game, but normally a good hitter, and you're seeing it here. She's spoiling a bunch of pitchers' pitches and just staying alive.
Cohen shakes one off. That one in the dirt, loads up the count.
Yeah, same off-speed pitch that, again, it's a release point thing. I mean, she's just got to, you know, sometimes on a really cold day, pitchers will say, you know, I just couldn't feel the ball. I couldn't grip it well. That's obviously not the case here, so it's a release point thing.
Mullins lifts it, trying to make the grab as Hoffman nearly collides with Malone. Trying to make the catch in foul territory. Looks like they got smiles on.
Yeah, really lucky that they did not collide. And again, that goes back to that communication thing. But, you know, both of them probably thought they had an outside shot at it. Neither one of them wanted to say me, because, you know, you're not sure. And luckily they avoid the collision.
Mullins finally puts one in fair territory and out of the reach of Pritchett. Second hit of the day for the Trojans. It's Mullins with 2 outs.
Fantastic at bat there. On was 8th or 9th pitch of the sequence there. She finally drops one to left center, and really good defense in the outfield. Center fielder Anna Pritchett decides, okay, I'm going to dive for it. I'm going to lay out for this thing. Abby Hoffman takes a great angle to back her up and holds her at first.
So runner on and 1 out for Madison Stanrich, who fouls him back. Just the second base runner of the game for the Trojans. Takes one the opposite way, but just foul.
Standridge is another young lady who, although 0 for 4 today, 0 for 3 in the first game, and basically hit one comebacker to the pitcher for her first at bat in the second game, but she came into the doubleheader batting .403, so she's due. She's a pretty good hitter.
Second team All Crossroads League selection last season. And this one's gonna get through the right side. Back-to-back hits for the Trojans with 2 outs.
Now batting number 2, Lily Lehman.
We saw, or at least I say it pretty much every game, Kelsey. If you can get some production out of 7, 8, and 9, and then bring 1 and 2 up behind them, obviously you're probably going to win the game. Unfortunately for Taylor, they did not get any production out of 7, 8, and 9, but they do have a little 2-out rally going here.
Roop keeps this one in front of her. As Livy Lehman steps into the box. She had the lone hit the first time through the order for the Trojans.
Grace Mullins at second did not feel she had enough of a secondary lead there. So when the ball got away, she decided not, probably wisely, to try to advance.
And second time through the order, it seems like these Taylor Trojans have started to time a little bit of what Cohen's bringing in the circle.
Well, there's always something to be said for that, just knowing how she got you out the first time, what pitch or what sequence of pitches, you're a little bit better armed to go back up there the second and or third time.
Lehman looking to keep the rally going, gets a hold of one, and that's fair. 1 run's gonna come in. Coach is waving Standridge, and she slides in safely. Lehman ties this game up with a 2-out double.
Well, again, a really good piece of hitting here. As you see, she just keeps her head down and weight back and just leans back against this ball and drives it. It's easily a fair ball inside the line there by a foot or two, and great base running. Madison Standridge had the whole thing in front of her. Coach was waving her on. Tie ball game.
Now batting number 19, Kaylee Larkin.
The Knights taking some time to talk about it in the circle.
Now, one of the things that we cannot see from our vantage point, Kelsey, is the Marian bullpen. The Taylor bullpen is in the field of play. The Marian bullpen is off the field of play, and so I don't know if anybody's warming up down there or not. Normally the guys in the truck can tell us if anybody is and give us a number.
With 2 outs, here's Larkin. That's going to be Lauren Mayer.
Yep, we are being told that Lauren is warming up for the Knights.
But good production from the Trojans with 2 outs. That's how they got it done in game 1 as well. With 2 outs, Barton had the single to start the 4th inning rally. McCreary had the 2-run home run. Lehman at second.
Down through my years of coaching, Kelsey, I had teams that were good 2-out rally teams, and at some point you got to sit them down and go, look, you don't have to get 2 outs, right? You guys know you can hit, right? You don't have to wait. Okay, just so we know.
The off-speed finally goes to work for Cohen, but not before the Trojans tie it up. Livy Lehman with the double. We're knotted up at 2.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience, and the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.75% APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Leading off for the Knights, number 1, Brooke Knox.
Tuesday afternoon doubleheader on the campus of Marian University. And for the first time, the first 2 games, we are tied. All knotted up at 2 apiece between the Taylor Trojans and 14th ranked Marian Knights. 2-3-4 do it for Marian. Here's Brooke Knox. Takes one to left field. First pitch swinging into the glove of McCreary. 1 down.
Well, if you get a pitch you like, I mean, go ahead and start the bat. I used to tell kids that in the average at bat, you're going to see your favorite pitch 1 time if you're lucky. So don't look at it, don't swing and miss, and don't foul it off. If you're going to hit it, hit it. The rest of the time, you're probably hitting pitchers' pitches on the corners, at the knees, things you don't like.
Lily went, looking for her first hit, and she's gonna get it. Drops it into shallow left field. After going 0 for 4 to start this doubleheader.
Now batting number 2, Grace Meyer.
Here's Grace Meyer. Takes the first pitch strike.
Lily went not much of a stolen base threat. She is 2 for 2, but in about 43 games, she's only tried twice.
Well, Marian took the first 2 games that these 2 teams met up. Got the win, 9-3 in game 1. Game 2, it was a slugfest, 13-10. Meyer jammed, just gonna pop up to the second baseman. Lehman's underneath it to make the catch, 2 outs.
Looked like Livy was battling the sun a little bit there. Obviously that right field, second base, first base, right field, which is most ballparks are laid out that way as a sun field, but she does not have glasses on, sunglasses, and there at the end when she caught it, she kind of shook her head like, man, am I glad they didn't hit me in the face.
Oh, 2 outs. Here's Jenna Minix. Minix had the RBI, back of the second. Scored Grace Meyer.
It did look like the runner was in motion there on the pitch. Neither team really been horribly active on the base paths. Marian did intentionally get hung up twice, once in the first game, once in the second.
Minix with a 3-1 count. Minix had one of the hardest hit balls for Marian today.
Well, I mean, she's probably seeing it well, so let's see if she can bust one here.
Hard hit into the gap, but coming in to make the catch is Mullins. So the Knights strand 1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still tied at 2 as we head to the 4th on the ISC Sports Network.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 5.74% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The Trojans tied this game up at 2 back in the 3rd inning. Now they look to take the lead here in the 4th. Looking to split this doubleheader with the Marian Knights. It's Delaney Barton who flies out to center field, 1 down.
Now batting number 18, Delaney McCreary.
Well, the last inning, Brooke Knox came up, first pitch, pop up to the left fielder. So Delaney Barton comes up and says, you know what? You swung at the first one. I think I will too. Similar results.
All these hitters have been active today, swinging at first pitch.
I like aggressive hitters. Again, I understand walks, and I get it, right? I mean, you want to try to work it if you can, but, man, get up there and find a pitch and bust it.
Casey Cohen gets ahead of the count 0-2 on Delaney McCreary.
So McCreary, again, at a huge disadvantage here. Cohen has an entire arsenal available. I mean, she can, just there, try to throw a ball out of the zone to get you to chase. She can come with an off-speed pitch. She can hit the inside corner, the outside corner. So it's a lot of fun to pitch when you're up 0-2.
McCreary to left field. Hoffman on the run. Gets the grab. 2 down.
Now batting number 16, Claire Duncan.
Kind of one of the hallmarks of a Coach Scott Fleming team generally is good defense, and you see it there on the replay as Abby Hoffman goes all the way back to the warning track. They normally field their positions well, and then when you add good pitching and good hitting, it's a 36-7 combination.
Well, 2 down for Claire Duncan. We've seen a lot of those on-the-run catches in this doubleheader so far. We've only seen one leave the park. That was off of the bat. Delaney McCreary just flew out to left field.
I've done a handful of games here at Marian this spring, and this place is normally a launching pad. It seems like there's balls flying out here all the time, and have not seen that this spring. I don't know if it's because of the wind or just a different type of hitters that the teams have this year as opposed to years past. Normally, you do not want to park your car in the spots just beyond the fence. You want to take it back a little bit.
Yeah, home run numbers are a bit down for the Knights this season, only 29. It's Abby Hoffman leading the way with 7. Malone up the middle. Another 1-2-3 inning. After the Trojans put up 2 in the third, Marian hangs a 0. They'll look to take the lead as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work. It can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Getting a look at the Marian dugout. Waiting for their offense to come alive in this game.
Good shot of the lift there of our camera crew. I believe McAllister's normally provide those for us.
Shout out to our whole crew today. Always getting the best shots, multiple cameras.
Yeah, and great angles too, because of the lifts. We're able to get really good, almost drone type footage here, and not to mention the center field camera as well, giving you that shot there.
Shout out to Greg, Charlie, Ian, and Chase. As well as Jordan, Kyle, and David in the truck. Bringing you this doubleheader on the ISC Sports Network.
So Rob Lynch recently retired, so we don't have Rob to kick around anymore, to quote Richard Nixon.
There's Haley Green, who fouls it back, lead things off. And Rob was always on one of the lifts.
Always.
A lot of games for Marian softball, a lot of games on the ISC network. So congrats to Rob on a wonderful career.
Yeah, well-deserved retirement.
It's the second time Haley Green's been hit today. I think the Knights will take it as the leadoff is aboard here in the 4th inning.
Now batting, number 4.
You know, some players just seem to be like a magnet for the ball, and of course she has no way to get out of the way of that thing. I mean, there's no way. She's going to have to take it and jog down to first. But it's funny how sometimes you get a kid on the team that gets hit all the time.
Malone rips the first pitch she sees. 0-1. Almost gets Charlie on the lift. Watch out, bud.
I have not had a chance to reach out to Rob. I do have his number. I'm going to try to get him some tickets to the Fisher's Freight game. He said he would like to go, so see a throw down to first, no play. But I just wonder, you know, if he's like me, I'm retired as well, and honestly, I feel like I got to go back and get a full-time job so I can get some rest. I'm busier now than I ever was.
Another one out of play. Fisher's Freight recently started their season. First ever season.
Pretty exciting stuff if you're familiar with indoor football and you remember back to the days of the Indiana Firebirds. We had an indoor team years ago that played at what was then Conseco Fieldhouse. This is played at the Fisher's Event Center.
You can listen to Jim on the call. As Malone goes down on strikes. One out.
Now batting, number 18, Caroline Root.
Chasing on the outside. One out, one on for Caroline Rue.
You know, sometimes, Kelsey, you can just look at a hitter and just see. It looks like Rupe's just ready to rip, just ready to throw those hands.
She'll throw him. She finds the gap.
She just looked like she's wanting to hit. Just like, I swear if you let go of it, I'm going to rip at it.
Right on cue, partner. A double for Caroline Roop. She's 2 for 2 on the day.
Now batting, number 9,
And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for Marian.
Yeah, Anna Pritchett is that, you know, again, slap hitter type, and I think Coach Fleming's going to want to get someone with a little more pop, or a little more power here with one out. This is a big opportunity. See who he brings up here. I don't see anybody other. Here she comes.
Grabbing her helmet on the run. Here's Emily Phillips. Emily Phillips, sophomore from Crown Point, Indiana.
It's up your way, right?
Northwest Indiana.
I heard a rumor. Are you a White Sox fan?
That rumor is true, yes.
Whew. How do you keep from just jumping off the tallest building?
Don't tell that very often to folks anymore.
I wouldn't admit it either. Not that I should talk. I'm a Cubs fan, and as a Cub fan, we know anybody can have a bad century.
Well, Phillips has 30 at-bats on the season, hitting .233.
Worked herself into a hitter's count here. Now, again, freeze on the line drive, ladies. We can't get doubled up here. You don't want to run yourself out of the inning.
2 in scoring position. And a 2-0. Swing and a miss on the outside.
Yeah, big old cut, just a shade behind it. Choke up just a smidge, not much. There she goes.
Chops one foul.
Now protect. Anything close, you got to move the bat.
Up in the air. calling it as a shortstop, Browning, who goes back on it, gets out number 2.
Well, we are playing dueling shortstops here today. Bella Browning does a nice job of fielding her position, as does Allie Malone. So obviously not even deep enough to even think about scoring from third.
So with 2 outs, here's Abby Hoffman. Taylor trying to work out of this jam.
Good spot to do it. That's honestly almost an unhittable pitch. You can hit it, but you're probably just going to ground out if you do.
Smoke to short. The one hopper. Browning gets the out at first. So Taylor ends the threat from Marian. Gets out of the jam. Still tied at 2 apiece as we head to the top of the 5th on the ISC Sports Network.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Aw, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
Hey, grab me one too.
Still knotted up at 2 apiece as we head to the top of the 5th inning. 8-9-1 due up for Taylor, and it looks like we're going to start out with a pinch hitter. Emily Guthrie coming into the game in place of Bella Browning. Trying to get something started. We're in a stalemate between these 2 Crossroads League teams. Macy Cohen in the circle for game 2. Through 4 innings, she's given up 4 hits, 2 earned runs.
Leading off for the Trojans, number
No
31,
walks. And
Guthrie.
struck out 3 Trojans.
Emily Guthrie bats about 323 coming into the doubleheader here. Just a little bit better than Bella Browning. But I would suspect that Bella Browning is going to re-enter because she just fields her position too well.
Set a first pitch strike. Guthrie, the sophomore, the Grass Lake, Michigan. Has started 9 games.
Macy Cohen wastes no time saying, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid."
Lays off one high. The Trojans went down 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th. Cohen sat down 5-6-7. Ropes one high, but foul.
She did give it a ride. It stays in the ballpark, not by much, but didn't quite carry the outfield fence, but certainly one hopped at that corner down there, so she's got a little pop.
Cohen working ahead. The off speed, and Guthrie waits back on it. Cohen left it up. Guthrie attacked.
Well, that is, I tell you, that's really good hitting there. That's identifying a pitch and saying, okay, it's off speed. Watch her. See the hands? The hands stay back. She goes ahead and strides like she normally would, but then realizes, yeah, there's something that don't look right about that, and just stayed back and just threw the hands. Nice job.
That was really impressive to keep your hands back on that pitch. And the bunt on the ground from Agri. Roop got her on a bang-bang play. So the sacrifice moves Guthrie over to second.
Marian does a nice job of covering third base, too, because I'll tell you what, I thought Guthrie had her sights set on third. Try to go first to third on that.
There's Mullins again. We saw her do that in the last inning as well. Just roping one down the right field line.
Yeah, I think if you're down in that bullpen for Taylor, you probably all just want to get the
Get the
catcher's gear.
dugout.
Yeah, or just everybody put catcher's gear on down there. They look like a hockey goalie.
We saw Mullins with a long at-bat in the third, and it paid off. Ended with a single and then came around to score. On the outside corner, 0-2.
All right, now it's Grace Mullins' turn to just kind of choke up a little bit and try to slap something into play, ideally to the right side.
Mullins slices one, but just foul.
Again, that's just spoiling a good pitch. Realizing that you can't really do much with it, but you know what? It's too close to take. The umpire very well could say close enough, strike three, and you don't want that, so just flip your bat at it and live to see another one.
0-2. Slow roller, it's gonna be interference. So Guthrie is gonna be out at second as she collided with Malone trying to make a play at short.
And it does go as basically a dead ball single for the hitter. Got to let the fielder has to have a shot to field the ball, and then after they've had their shot, if there's contact, it's incidental. But
So with 2 outs, here's Madison Stanrich. Just foul. Back in the third inning was Mullins and Stamridge, who had back-to-back singles. And it was Lehman who hit him in. She's standing on deck.
Boy, not a whole lot has gone Taylor's way today. And that interference shortstop certainly another thing that didn't go their way.
Stanridge to right, battling the sun and making the catch is Minix. That's a tough out in right field.
Yeah, and after she caught it, she kind of walked back to you see that as she jogs back in and thinking, oh my gosh, I am so lucky to have caught that.
Probably saved a run.
Yes.
Still tied at 2, heading to the bottom of the 5th.
To see the success that we've had around here has been very, very rewarding for me. My name is Steve Downing. I'm athletic director. We've been able to build buildings. We've been able to put up video boards. We've been able to build locker rooms, dining halls here. And I think a lot of that speaks to the M Club itself. You know, people are really excited about what we're doing here. We haven't had to sacrifice anything for our athletes, okay, in terms of clothing them, feeding them, or traveling them to events. And we've done it in a first-class way, and I'm really excited about what that means for the M Club itself.
Two, 3, 4 due up for the Knights in the bottom of the 5th inning. Still tied at 2 apiece here. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Kelsey Casper and Jim Leisure with you as Knox pops one up just out of the reach of Lehman and Mullins.
Yeah, really the second baseman's ball because of the angle. Tough play, a long run for the right fielder. Second baseman generally is the only one that has a legitimate shot at that. Now, again, if you've got somebody with unbelievable wheels in right field, then maybe they get up with it.
Knox into center, hard hit, but Agri has had a couple good catches today. It's out number 1.
Yeah, if anybody from the Raleigh's Corporation happens to be watching this game, they're handing out some gold gloves today. Some great shortstop play on both sides, really nice plays in the outfield.
It's been great defense. Here's Lily Went.
Well, I tell you, Kelsey, that pitch just missed, but it had late movement. Started inside, and then at the last maybe foot just broke.
Both teams with 5 hits apiece and 2 runs scored each. They've been able to make decent contact, but neither team has really been able to put a rally together, string some hits together. And that's how we find ourselves tied at 2. Again, the defense. Huge play from Stanridge at third. 2 down.
Yeah, I mean, credit, like you said, credit the great defense. Both teams have hit the ball hard and hit it in good spots, but fielders just everywhere going like right there. You saw Standridge, leaving her feet, knocking it down, and firing a strike across. But, again, timely hits too. You got to get them when they're on.
1-0 count to Grace Meyer. Marian scored their runs in the second. Trojans responded right away in the top of the third. Sprays one foul. Two and one. Meyer gets a hold of one, and that's going to fall in the gap. Meyer is going to stay at second, and she's got herself a 2-out double here at the top of the 5th.
Well, just got the head of the bat. It was an inside pitch. She opens the front hip and just gets the head of the bat on the thing, drives it out to the right center gap, and you see it kind of bangs around a little bit out there. But now you got the potential go-ahead run on second base. And with 2 outs, she's going to be moving on contact unless it's hit directly to the third baseman.
Marian trying to break this tie. So we've been tied at 2 apiece since the top of the 3rd inning. Jenna Minix has already brought in a run today. She had a double back in the 3rd that scored Meyer. Looking to do the same here in the 5th. On the ground, slow roller. Lehman at second, got her. Close play, saves a run from coming in from Marian. The defense still showing out in game 2 of this doubleheader.
Yeah, I don't know if we can look at that again real quickly before we go to commercial, but this is awfully, awfully close. I said safe when I first saw it.
Get another look. Oof.
I don't know. I mean, no replay here in this level, but you see it right there. We'll see if we can see where the ball disappears. Oh, yeah,
she was
safe.
safe.
She's safe. But she's out, so let's play. Let's move on.
Still tied at 2.
Some say you have to choose between reaching for Mars or harnessing more energy from a star. Going faster than the speed of sound versus bringing clean water from out of the ground. We say, why not both? The choice then is Marian University's Whitaker School of Engineering. Discover success with purpose. Learn more at marian.edu/engineering.
Here's another look at the last play. Yeah, Jenna Minix safe at first. That would have scored the go-ahead run for Marian.
As we used to say, safe from me to you. Meaning we're sitting about 2.5 feet away from each other, and she was safe by about 2.5 feet.
So to the top of the 6th we go. Here is maybe Lehman. Sat herself. Good afternoon here in game number 2. Had a single in the 1st, 2 RBI double in the 3rd. Looking to get something started for her team here in the 6th.
We've seen that a lot today, Kelsey, where some of these hitters for Taylor that were 0 for in the first game, but you knew you just can't keep them down. You knew they were going to get hits eventually. And they've kind of done that for Coach Bauer's crew.
Up in the air, Hoffman calls it. 1 out.
Now batting number 19, Kaylee Larkin.
There's Kaylee Larkin. For 2 in game 2. Larkin, a pitcher and first baseman. We've seen her at first base here for the first 2 games.
Caroline Roop working hard back there. That one got away from her, but has done a nice job so far behind the plate and at the plate.
Ropes one down the left field line. That's fair. Larkin rounding first. She's going to hold there. She's got her first hit in game number 2.
Very, very close. Remember, folks, if the ball, any part of the ball goes over any part of that bag, if the outer half of the ball goes over that last corner, then it's a fair ball. We'll get a shot of it here. I mean, it looks close enough to me. I mean, it looked like the ball went over just that corner. Like coach is going to bring in a pinch runner, I believe.
Looks like Meg Stanley is going to come in and pinch run for Larkin.
Stanley was the, they're saying 25 now? Did they change it? Originally they said 27.
Yep, it's going to be number 25, Maddie Schultz. So Schultz now stands at first base in place of Larkin.
Does have 1 stolen base, so probably not going to be on the move, but I think coach just wanted to get a little more speed on the base paths.
So here's Delaney Barton. 1 on and 1 out.
Delaney with the big bomb, and no, that was the other Delaney. I'm sorry. Too many Delaneys on this team.
And nonetheless, they're back-to-back in the lineup.
That's
Delaney
right. That's
Barton,
not helping.
Delaney Barton, Delaney McCreary.
Yeah, Delaney McCreary had the big fly in the first game. As Delaney Barton falls to 0-2.
Man, active day for our guy Charlie.
We need to get him a glove. Take him down to Play It Again Sports and get him one of them old first baseman's gloves, you know.
Here's a 1-2 count. The line drive's gonna get through the right side. Back-to-back hits for the Trojans. Looking for some momentum here in the 6th inning.
Well, just reached out there and slapped it into right field, and the runner at first does a nice job of just avoiding the ball, the batted ball. We didn't want to have another, interference call there.
So another pinch runner.
This time it's 27.
Yep, this time it's Stanley. So she's in for Barton. Schultz at second, Stanley at first, McCreary at the plate with a big opportunity here. Trying to break this tie game.
I'll say it again, though. Be careful, ladies. Freeze on a line drive. You don't want to double yourself up and run yourself out of the inning.
We've seen some great defensive plays so far today. Big swing. 0-1.
Stanley does have 3 steals, but she's not going to steal second because there's a person standing on it. I don't know all the rules, but I know that's a violation.
Good spot from Cohen, but doesn't get it. 1-1.
So Macy Cohen gets into a pitcher's count here, 1-2. This is huge. I mean, this is where, as a coach, you want to see your pitcher just bear down and end this right here. Now, I know it's just a second out, but this is a very dangerous hitter in a very dangerous spot.
On the ground, another one's going to get past the infield. Bases loaded for the Trojans in the top of the 6th.
Well, taking it one base at a time. 3 singles. Hats off to Delaney McCreary, who won that battle.
Just out of the reach of Malone at short. And the Trojans have rattled off 3 straight hits. The pinch hitter. This is J.C. Kitchen. The freshman getting the call in a big moment. Bases loaded and 1 out. Hitting in place of Claire Duncan. Infield playing in. Fouls off the first pitch she sees.
Obviously, you play in for one reason, and that's to go home and get the force. Now, for some reason, you'll see players sometimes, ball hit to them, they don't know where to go. They hold on to it, they look at second, they look at first, they look at home, and everybody's safe. You're in for one reason.
Cohen ahead of the count, 0-2.
That's why coaches have gray hair or no hair at all.
Cohen gets the big K with bases loaded. 2 down.
Good squeeze back there by Caroline Roop on the foul tip. Remember, on a foul tip, the ball remains live. If it goes from the bat directly to the catcher's glove, it's a strike, but the ball remains live. Nice squeeze.
So 2 outs, bases loaded. And this is Browning back at the plate. She was pinch hit for in the 5th. So Macy Cohen in this Marian defense looking to get out of the bases loaded jam. Browning fouls one back, right back to us.
We'll protect you.
Jim's got you, don't worry.
Yeah, I know where they sell glass. That's no big deal. Young lady running the scoreboard here is never going to go to another scary movie again, I think, after that. She's had her fill.
1-1 the count. Fouled back another one.
She did nicely on that one, though. She didn't even move. She's getting better.
Couple pinch runners on the base paths. It's Schultz at third, Stanley at second, McCreary at first.
Huge pitch right here. You just want to end it right here if you're Macy Cohen.
Back-to-back strikeouts from Macy Cohen. Gets the Knights out of the bases loaded jam. Marian looking to build off this momentum as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Marian looking to build off the momentum after Taylor stranded 3 hitters in the top of the 6th inning. The Trojans rattled off 3 singles in a row with 1 out, but Macy Cohen, the sophomore in the circle, battling to get 2 big strikeouts.
Coach Fleming conferring with the home plate umpire. There'll be some changes here. Maybe some re-enters, maybe just, some, the people that he pinch ran for and or pinch hit for earlier are re-entering.
6, 7, 8. Due up for the Knights. Here's Haley Green. It has been a pitcher's battle today. Kenzie Noah in the circle through 5 innings pitched. He's given up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. Also only issued 1 walk.
Which is, almost as impressive as anything, really. I mean, when you don't give away free passes, those base hits, those random base hits here and there don't really come back to haunt you.
Green singled in the 2nd, is hit by a pitch for the 2nd time today in the 4th. But she has been stranded. The 2 times she has reached base. Lined right in the glove of Stanridge. It's the defense that has showed up today.
Yep, this defensive display continues.
Allie Malone with a 1-0 count. 1 for 2 in game 2. On the ground, Stanridge over to first, 2 away.
And, as a hitter, as frustrating as those 2 at-bats, Haley Green's liner to the 3rd baseman, Stanridge, and then the hard shot there, at least you're hitting it well, you're seeing it well. Those things, they'll start to fall for you. Again, as long as you're seeing it well, and I think Caroline Roop's been seeing it well. Just be patient. Don't get down on yourself. I know they're outs, but I'd rather make outs like that than, those little bloopers and those easy, can of corns in the outfield.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. And Caroline Roop was 2 for 2 on the day. A single and a double. Yeah, a lot of well-hit balls just hit right at some folks.
And hit hard. They still got to make plays.
Roop fouls it to the right side.
And they don't call it the hot corner for nothing.
The off-speed, off the arm. 2 outs. Caroline Roop walks down to first base.
So the 2nd hit by pitch. 3rd free pass. There was 1 walk back in the 2nd.
There's a pinch runner. Mackenzie Matern. So she stands on first in place of Roop.
Not a lot of stolen base opportunities for Matern. Now that might be just because of lack of opportunity. Well, he has not played in a lot of games.
Pritchett. Almost the diving grab from Stanridge. As Pritchett popped up the bunt. Let's take another look.
Yeah, I mean, if she makes this catch here, then you just retire her glove. That's 3. You just call time, send the glove to the Hall of Fame, and make her play barehanded.
Pritchett fouls another one off, 0-2. Pritchett has struggled to get the bunt down today.
Yeah, and that's really her job. I mean, honestly, as the 9-hole and that slap-type hitter, your job is you got to get the ball down.
Pritchett to third. Stanridge again. 3 putouts for the third baseman in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we are still tied at 2.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
Indiana Members Credit Union is proud to support Marian University and now offers a Marian University Knights debit card. The card is included when you open a free IMCU checking account. Get your Marian University Knights debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Fans on their feet. It's been a close game. All games still tied at 2. Heading into the 7th inning. Neither team really able to break it open or find any sort of rhythm offensively. Macy Cohen and Mackenzie Noah, the 2 pitchers battling it out in game 2 of our doubleheader. 9-1-2 coming up for the Trojans. Taylor fell in a close one in game 1, 4-2. Right into the glove of Malone. Man, Malone and Stanridge. I want to know how many outs they've accounted for.
All of them.
In games 1 and 2 today.
Seems like all of them. I'm trying to count the L's for lineouts on my scorecard here. There's been a handful.
Well, the Trojans will look to Grace Mullins. Leadoff for Taylor.
Mullins has availed herself a little bit more nicely in this second game than the first. A couple base hits.
In for a strike, 1-1.
You know what? I tell you, that's a tough pitch, and you don't want to swing at it anyway. And was it a strike? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm just telling you that if you swing at that, you're not going to hit it hard. So don't swing at it.
Put a charge into this one, but Minix going to make the grab. 2 down.
Another line out there.
Well, 2 down. Here's Stanridge. Has had herself a game defensively. Is 1 for 3 at the plate today.
And, you know, Kelsey, I just get the feeling that if either one of these teams could get something to drop, so any of these rockets to drop, they'd have 10 runs.
It could be a completely different game.
Yep.
This one in the air. Knox underneath it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Marian, they could win it if they score in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here on the ISC Sports Network.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
Crowd starting to form here. Watching a great matchup between 2 Crossroad League opponents. Marian ranked 14th in the country. And Taylor looking to upset them in game 2 of this doubleheader. regular season winding down for both of these squads. Marian up next, only 4 more games left on the schedule. Same for Taylor, they got Goshen and St. Francis before they host the Crossroads League Tournament.
And this is a new pitcher. This is Katie Kotlatsky again.
So Mackenzie Noah, her day ends in the 7th inning. Noah went through 6, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, and 3 strikeouts. But they'll give the ball to Kotlatsky, who came in relief in game 1 and was lights out. Went 5.2 innings, gave up 5 hits and no runs. Looking to hang a 0 here in the 7th and send this one into extras.
And the only thing I'll say, Kelsey, is that these Marian hitters have all seen her at least a couple times. This is not a typical reliever situation where you bring in the fireballer and we haven't seen her all day. They've had a good look at her, so you might see some pretty good at-bats here.
Well, she's got to face the top of this Marian lineup. Here's Abby Hoffman. Set a first pitch strike. Hoffman was 0 for 2 against her in game 1. Still looking for her first hit of the day. Now the top 3 hitters for Marian, Hoffman, Knox, and Wendt. So far in game 2, they're 1 for 9. Hoffman to the right side, a foul.
All 3 pitches been on an outside corner. The first pitch was called a strike on the corner. And the catcher, Delaney Barton, and Kotlatsky decided, you know what, if you like that one, let's take it out about 2 inches and see if you like that one. And the home plate umpire said, nope, too far. But then another outside pitch that she takes foul to the right side.
Two and 2. Hoffman fouls one back and out of play. Hoffman gets a hold of one, send it to center, but going back on it, just in front of the warning track, is Agri. 1 out.
Now batting number 1, Brooke Knox.
Well, she put a charge in it, but again, just like you said, not enough. A little warning track power there by Abby Hoffman.
That'll bring up Brooke Knox. Batted in the 9 spot in game 1. Has moved up to hit second in the lineup, but 0 for 3 in game number 2. She's 0 for 6 on the afternoon. Perfect time to get your first hit. One aboard for Marian. With 1 out on the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting number 5, Lily Wendt.
Well, you got to look here to see whether or not Brooke Knox is a stolen base threat. She is actually 0 of 0. So if he sends her, that will be her first trip.
1 on for Lily Wendt. First pitch strike. 1 for 3 in this game. At a single back in the 3rd. Marian has stranded 6 base runners in this game. Chopper on the ground. They're going to get the force at second. Browning over to Lehman. Round number 2.
Now batting number 2, Grace Meyer.
Yeah, well, of course, again, we have the benefit of looking at it again. I think she was out, to be totally honest with you. Seems to be a little bit of disagreement from the stands, the umpires in the stands.
Yeah, she appeared to be out from up here.
Yeah.
So 2 outs for Grace Meyer. Slices 1 foul. Grace Meyer looking to end this game in 7, avoid extra innings. That one's gonna drop into right field. They're gonna send Knox over to third, and she's safe. The throw beat her, but just a little off the mark, and Standridge couldn't get a tag on it. Meyer takes second. It's second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Kelsey. This throw is just up the left field line. It's not on the home plate side of the bag, and that's the reason she's safe. She does a nice job of avoiding the tag there. Again, as a coach, I would like to see her kind of sweep slide and get that inner corner, not the outer corner. I mean, make them reach another, 14 inches to get you there. She's lucky that she got in there, though, but she was safe.
Excuse me, I said Knox. That was Wendt. So Wendt at third, Meyer at second. Line down the right field line, but just foul off the bat of Jenna Minix.
Now, again, remember, a lot of pressure on the catcher here, Delaney, Barton, and Kotlotsky. You can't just throw that nasty old ball down in the dirt and it gets away, because it will mean a run, and that'll be the ball game. So Barton has to basically sacrifice her body to make sure the ball does not get past her.
Called strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, no sacrifice needed there. No sacrifice needed there. That ball was just caught about knee high.
Kotlotsky ahead in the count. 1 and 2. Minix. The shortstop had it, but she is safe at first. Game over. An RBI infield single from Jenna Minix scores Lily Wendt. And the Knights win it in the 7th in exciting fashion.
Well, congratulations to Jenna Minix, who got just enough of that thing, and the shortstop out there all day, Bella Browning, did a nice job. She tried to turn something into nothing, or nothing into something there, and couldn't get it done. Coach Fleming came up between games and was not necessarily happy with the first game win. Described it, I guess, as ugly, I think he said. And again, probably not going to be thrilled to death with this one, but a win's a win, and you move on and you get those very, very important conference wins.
2 wins on the day for Marian. Macy Cohen gets the win in the circle, along with Olivia Stunkel back in game 1, but Jenna Minix with the RBI infield single to end it in the 7th and break the tie as Marian wins 2. They took game 1 4-2. They take game 2 3-2. The final from the 2 games today. Well, shout out to our whole crew. For my partner, Jim Leisure, I'm Kelsey Casper, saying so long on campus of Marian University, right here on the ISC Sports Network.